like, because we're doing like the pre-thing before the thing of the thing, and then and so we didn't want to miss what Roman calls podcast gold. We have a lot of gold. What is your name again, by the way? Connor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Connor.
Yes, we have Connor in the studio today who is training.
I know, which is very exciting. Connor, you're going to see a lot of podcast gold here, so you just strap in, all right?
You're listening to Robyn and Lucy Tackle a Wedding, a podcast where two comedians,
Robyn Perkins and Lucy Frederick,
plan an unconventional
and inverted commas
wedding.
Not to each other.
No,
definitely not. Yeah, okay. I'm ready to go. Actually, I'm very excited about this episode. The reason why is because today we get to say my favorite story of both of ours. Yeah.
Welcome to Robyn and Lucy Tackle a Wedding. It's the day of all days. It's the dress episode.
Yeah.
We're talking about wedding dresses. Oh yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah. But first we have to catch up of what's going on.
Sure. How's it going, Robyn? How's the wedding planning going?
Yeah, I've cancelled the wedding.
You haven't, though, have you?
I have a dress, and that's all I wanted. No, the drama is real.
The drama is
real.
real.
My God. Okay, because everybody, I'm not going to get angry, but I did have a gig a week and a half ago, though, and it was sufficiently out of town that nobody would know me and nobody was going to be there, and I just went off to the audience and I was like, and this and this and that, and I was hosting and I was like, and here's your next act. It was,
what a professional.
I know, I was. And I was like, nobody tweet me. But no, it's fine. It's just a lot of coordination getting married across an ocean. And it's tough because, again, with the no kids and I
know. It is hard because you're obviously asking people to travel across the world, aren't you, without their beloved children. It is difficult. But as you were saying earlier that you've got part of your family who find it difficult to fly, don't you?
Yes, my dad, Ralph, does not fly at all. So, well, he does fly with a lot of alcohol and accompaniment, people accompanying.
Yeah, someone on the piano.
Yeah. I know. Honestly, the baggage costs are huge. We're going to need a baby grand. Beethoven only.
Connor's not laughing.
I don't think Connor likes us very much. Come on, Connor, get on board.
Accompaniment, like with accompaniment, as in someone on the piano.
Yeah.
It's a musical joke.
Yeah, he's giving us that look like, I got it. I just didn't find it funny. Okay. Fine. All right.
Fine.
Whatever. You're not invited to the wedding, Connor. Right? If you fake laughing like Roman does, you get an invite.
You get an invite,
yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Okay, I could tell that was fake. Okay, so my dad, so I am now because also Caitlin's mom can't fly, like, health-wise, and so we are doing the wedding over here, but I am now, a week before the wedding, going to fly to the States to fly my parents back here.
It's a lot to take. It's a lot to take on, isn't it? Because, you know, as anybody who's planning a wedding knows, there's an awful lot that goes into it, and especially in that last month, there's an awful lot to do. You know, and if you've got to take to essentially do a whole travel,
I know.
It's going to be.
But the good news is, I will essentially have killed the planet by the time I get my parents over here. So it's a moot point. Everybody wins.
I don't think it's just you killing the planet, if that helps.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. But I think we have it under control. We have the schedule under control. We've got the parents coming over here under control. We have let everybody know that they can't have their kids, and that is under control. So I feel like it's got to be easy from here on out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter where you've chosen to get married. People are going to have to travel. That's what happens, and it happens with everybody.
Yeah.
You have to choose somewhere to get married, and you have to choose a place that's right for you and the person you're marrying.
But I am very grateful that
people.
people are coming, and I'm very grateful that people are making the effort.
Sure.
And I'm hopefully the coordination will make it as easy and seamless as possible.
You are doing a very good job. Well done. Okay. Should we move on to the list, or is there any
absolutely.
other updates you want to give us?
No, I think that's it. I think that's it. So where should I be on the sacred text for this month? Let's see how far behind I am.
Here we go. 10 months to go. Meet with your officiant and start a pre-marriage counselling course if they require it. Start your wedding website if you want one. Wedding dress shopping.
Oh, dear.
That was lovely, apart from Robyn laughing. But
no, I didn't laugh. I waited
laugh
until you were finished at the end.
All right, no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. So what? All right. The first one. I don't even know what that means.
What's that? Meet your officiant.
What's that?
Well, that's the person who marries you, the legal person, like your registrar or your vicar. Or your...
All right, we have started that because we have to like register in Lewisham and then we have to get a person to do the thing. And we're doing like a tiny official, because not religious, but we're getting like an official person to do the legal bits at the pub at like 3 on the Friday before most people arrive.
Oh, okay. So are you, because what a lot of people do now, which is what me and my husband did, which is we had our legal wedding actually a week before our actual wedding, because you can't legally get married where we got married, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we had a friend of ours was our officiant, and we had a big ceremony, like a friend's declaration of love sort of ceremony in front of all of our friends. Is that sort of what we're working with?
That's what we're doing. So, because the thing is, what I will say is, Caitlin, and I think I've mentioned this before, Caitlin is on the autism spectrum, and which and her idea of the perfect wedding is very different from the idea, because I am a performer, and I'm like, everybody look at me, it's amazing. And Caitlin's like, if nobody could look at me, that would be amazing.
I know.
But she loves me very much.
She'd like to be pixelated out in real life, wouldn't she, at the wedding?
Absolutely. If she could like not show up to the wedding and then I just did both sides of the vows, if I was like, do you, Robyn? Oh my God, I bet she does. I just got a text from her. She totally says I do. She does. It was right here on the text, right? So what we're doing, because also all the faff. I love the faff. I am faff. My life is faff.
And you are 98% faff.
I am. Like, even on the way in here, I had to stop to get some water from a guy who really thought I was buying a pizza, and then I had a bike and a bag and it's not good. So on the Friday, we're going to have a very tiny thing where the aficionado is going to do, what are they called again?
Efficient
is going to legally...
You can call it an aficionado if you want.
I don't know. They're going to do like the legal signing bit, but that'll be in the pub that's on site. But the pub only holds 16 people. So it's like tiny. In jeans and a t-shirt is what, like, it's going to be very much jeans, t-shirt, nothing dressy, nothing fancy. Then we're going to have a beer, and then Robyn's wedding begins.
That's such a lovely idea. Listen, I really didn't think that our legal service, which we did at Southwark registry office a week before our wedding, I really think it was going to be any big deal. Like but actually it was really lovely, and it was like another little, just the two of us, and we had 2 witnesses. Yeah. We didn't do jeans and t-shirts. I wore a nice dress because I love a nice dress. But and we went for brunch afterwards with like 5 friends. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be no big deal, but it was actually just really lovely. So I think you'll really value that little quiet bit.
I'm excited. I'm going to wear a jumpsuit.
Okay. Oh, of course you are. If anybody is watching any of the clips of us doing this podcast, please know that Robyn is not wearing the same jumpsuit.
It's very different, all right? This one is a lighter blue than last time and a darker blue than the first one.
Uh-huh. Okay. Right, fine. All right. Now, the next thing on the list was
start your naked next time. You'll be sorry.
Good Lord. I just don't know what to say to that. If I did it naked, my boobs would just be sitting on the table in front of me.
This could be a way to get loads more viewers and listeners.
I think you're overestimating how many people want to see us naked, Robyn.
I think you're underestimating how many creeps there are in the world.
That's true. Fine, good. I'm at a point in my life where I'm fine with that. Anyway, it's the next thing on the sacred text was start your wedding website if you want one.
Start our wedding website. Okay, so I've heard of these. We do not have a wedding website, but what we do have is we have a wedding email address and we have a link tree.
Oh,
Yeah, all
and
right.
you've sent out several surveys.
I know,
haven't you?
because if you go to the link tree, because our Save the Date had a QR code which scans to the link tree, and on the link tree there's all these surveys on it. So there's like an accommodation survey, which we're going to talk about accommodation next time. There's like a are you coming or are you not, with all of the do you remember all the different yes I'm
Yeah, the
coming?
Save the Date.
Yeah, on the Save the Date was like, are you coming? And then it's like, yes, 100%, probably. And no, I actually don't like you. And this is weird. I didn't think that we were close enough to get this wedding invitation.
No, it's very good. There's a lot of
options.
quite high-tech admin gone into this, isn't there?
Yeah, I did. Because I think a website's a lot of maintenance, but Linktree, it's like all the info you need, all the links you need, fine, good.
No, you did. It's very good. All right, and that's all going quite well, apart from the fact that you forgot to tell people that they can't bring their children on the Save the Dates. That's all fine?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and now it is fine. I think I've had enough awkward conversations. We've nailed it into the ground. It's all good.
Good.
So it's fine.
And, something happened in the cricket.
I know.
There was a bit
I know
shout.
that is actually just somebody who was like, I didn't get the memo about the kids.
And then are people filling out the survey about accommodation?
Yes, you didn't.
Oh, I thought I did.
Roman did.
Roman's not invited. All right, fine.
No, people are, but I think I, in classic Robyn form, overcomplicated the accommodation survey. We'll talk about that later. Actually, maybe I'll just go through the survey next time, and you can see, and that way we can fill it in live.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Fine, good. I don't have to do it then. Hooray. Fine, okay. Then let's move on to the main subject of this episode of Robyn and Lucy Tackle a Wedding. The dress.
Very exciting.
Okay, here we go. Now, it's worth saying right at the beginning, not everybody wants to wear a wedding dress to their wedding, do they, Robyn?
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to wear a wedding dress, but some people... Listen, I think the point that we want to make is if you want to wear a wedding dress to your wedding, specifically to your own wedding, please don't wear a wedding dress to anyone else's. But if you want to wear a wedding dress to your own wedding, it doesn't matter what shape you are, what gender you are, anything you are allowed to wear a wedding dress, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, you should wear a wedding dress if you want to. I think what we're probably going to cover is the alarming obstacles I think we both found towards that come between being a person who isn't, as you described it, cookie cutter, which is a good way to describe it, I think, and wearing a wedding dress and feeling amazing on your wedding day. But first of all, please, Robyn, tell the story about how you showed Caitlin.
No, don't. Oh, okay.
Okay, tell the story. I'll shut up. You tell it. Sorry. Go on.
Okay. No, I don't. Shut up. I like it when you talk. All right. So what happened? This is the story behind the dress. Because I don't have a binder. I'm not one of those people that's like, my wedding is going to be like this, this, and this. Like, no. I've never been like that. And basically, back in 2009, I used to be an architect. Another thing, it doesn't matter. I was in Scotland. I was in Edinburgh working on Quarter Mile. And one of my best friends from the States came over. Because she was over for work, and so we go to Scotland, and we're walking down the Royal Mile, and we saw this dress in the window, and I was like, oh my god, that is the most amazing dress. And I was like, I want to get married in that dress. The thing is that you look at the dress, and it looks like an antique. It looks like a showpiece. It looks like something you'd find in a museum. It doesn't look like a thing that you can actually buy, because it's just this artifact in a window.
Okay,
right?
I just want to pause the story real quick. I want to encourage you not to describe the dress on the podcast.
Okay.
Well, not to describe it too much because your fiance does listen to this podcast. Extraordinary. My husband listens to it under duress, but yours does it like voluntarily.
I have to tell you something, Lucy.
What's that?
Okay. So, you know how... Okay, so you know how, again, with the being on the spectrum and she doesn't want a lot of surprises and unknowns, and...
Did you show her a picture?
She really wanted to see a picture of the dress. She's seen the dress.
Oh, fine, okay, all right. That's really disappointing. I'm disappointed in you both, but that's fine. All right, carry on then.
I feel like you're angry with me now.
No, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, it's even worse.
No, it's fine.
But
listen.
I know. I didn't want to tell you, but then I was like, I have to tell you because I can't keep living a lie. But
no, also I think that's a really good point though, because this the thing of the other person not seeing the dress until the day is like a weird tradition thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like another weird wedding
She
tradition,
hasn't seen
which
it
actually
live.
means very little,
Yeah.
doesn't it? So if that's what you want to do and you want to plan the wedding dress together, then that's.
I knew I was going to have to tell you, but I didn't think it'd feel this bad. I do.
Why?
Feel
It's
I
fine.
don't
It's
know.
completely fine. No, it's completely fine. I think it is interesting because I weirdly wanted to talk to James about my wedding dress. I mean, we'll get on to it, but basically, I had my wedding dress made by a really lovely lady called Joanna Roberts. She was brilliant. And there was a point really close to the beginning before the wedding where I realised I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to, and I was so wanted to show it to James because I wanted to go please, because we talk to each other about absolutely everything, like in a borderline unhealthy way. We're very, very open, and I talked to him about absolutely everything, and it was so weird not being able to go, can you help me? Like, I don't know what to do about this. And in the end, I just told him about it. I didn't tell him about the dress. I just was like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, listen, you need to email Joanna because she would be really sad if she thought you weren't perfectly happy with the dress. So I did, and she was like, oh my God, come to my house. Yeah. And it was good advice. But so I do get it. I'm not really disappointed in you.
Okay.
I think it's a really good example of how.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things like traditions about getting married that are just not us. Like, I am not going to throw the bouquet. Like, I just think that's a weird thing to do. Of like the garter and the shit like that.
That weird garter thing is so weird. Anyway, back to the dress story.
Okay, sorry. All right, so we're still friends. We've still got a podcast.
What is he? What do you think of me that I would be like? Bye.
Okay. So in any case, right. So I find this dress. I think it's amazing, but I think it's a showpiece, right? I think I think it's genuinely not for sale. And then I started comedy.
Because it was in the window of one of these kind of Edinburgh wool mill type shops, wasn't it?
It wasn't
like one
in
of those
a wedding dress shop. It was in a
like in those shops that you go in and buy a tartan scarf in. You know, those kind of weird what's the word I'm looking for? What are those, like when you buy something from a place?
Souvenirs.
Souvenir shop.
Exactly. Okay. So it was in this shop, and then I started comedy. Like, I found this dress before I even started stand-up comedy, right? And so then, of course, I go to the Edinburgh Fringe every year, and every year I would find the dress on the Royal Mile, walk by it, and be like, oh, it's still there. That's my dress, right? Every single year. Now, I met Caitlin in 2018 at the Edinburgh Fringe. She was the head tech at Underbelly, where we both had our show. So you actually met her
same time.
As well, same time. I had a massive crush on me. No.
Well, that's a Freudian slip if I've ever heard one.
Only from a comedian. I love myself. Guys, I just want to let you know, so hot. Okay, so
you had a massive crush on Caitlin.
I had a massive crush on Caitlin. Caitlin had no idea. Like, clueless, absolutely no idea. I wrote her a very flirtatious email and still nothing. It was horrible. It didn't even end in a kiss. Anyway, so then amazingly, 11 months later, she comes to a preview, right? And so she actually came up to visit me 2019 at the Edinburgh Fringe, right? And this is right the start when we were dating, and we had kind of like hooked up a couple times, but it wasn't a thing. And so we actually in Edinburgh had our first official date. Right? Which is very sweet. So we went out to dinner and we did this thing and we were walking back to the flat and then we pass the dress on our first date. And we were looking at the dress and I went, that's my wedding dress. And she went, you're weird.
Yes, because normal people would have gone, that's the wedding dress I want to get married in. But I'm on a first date, so I'll probably shut fuck up about that.
Nope, not me.
Not me.
I was like, well, I think this first date has gone pretty well. Let's fucking do this.
See it, so I say it.
I have no filter at all. It was genuine. We were walking by and I was like, oh, look, that's my wedding dress. And she was like, oh my God. So she freaked out a little bit, although she didn't tell me. There are several points in our relationship where she has freaked out and has not told me. Yeah,
Aww.
I know. Like at the very beginning, because I watch horrible TV, like really bad TV, and I was watching Below Deck. Do you know it?
No.
Don't.
We've had the conversation about house porn and things like that in a previous episode.
So Below Deck is like a reality TV of the yachting industry. So it's just really bottom of the rung reality TV. And so I was watching it. I was making her watch it, and she told me a year later that she genuinely was questioning our relationship and almost broke it off because my TV taste was so bad.
Yep, fair enough.
Yep. Okay, fine. So I passed this dress and I was like, this is my dress. And she was like, but kept going. Fine. And then, so that was Edinburgh 2019. Then, of course, we keep dating. It becomes very serious. And then the pandemic happens.
Yeah.
And then we live together. We become engaged. Amazing. And the first time we went back to Edinburgh was this year, 2022. And I was like, oh my God. We could go wedding dress shopping in Edinburgh. I could find the dress. It was very exciting.
And
you
who
were
did
there.
you call upon?
It was you.
It was Lucy Frederick.
Always you.
It was always going to be me. And so you and I together, we got up early one morning, didn't we? Like 10 a.m.
Yeah, really early. Okay. And we went back to
went hunting.
Yeah, we went hunting. We went to the same shop that had the dress in it, and it had shut down.
Yes.
Completely closed. And we were like,
gone.
oh God. Yeah. And then you, at this point in time, you were like, we should probably give up. And
yes, I was. I was like, it's not there, Robyn. Also, I was very much like, I don't think this dress is a real. I think it's for sale. Like it's not for sale.
I know.
It's a prop in a shop that they're going to go. What? That's been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
But you were like, no.
Finding the dress.
Yeah, you
okay.
were.
So then, but the shop had shut down. So then I went on Google Earth to like the street views to try to find the name of the shop. Then Googled the shop, found a sister shop, and then we walked across Edinburgh to find like another shop. And we walk in and we're like, here's the, because I'd found a picture of the dress on Pinterest. So I was like, hey, do you know this dress? And then the shop worker was like, no, I have no idea. And
We don't sell that.
We don't. This is like a souvenir shop with kilts. Like that's not what we do. And I was like, oh, and she's like, if you really want, you can ask the manager. At which point you were like, we should go, Robyn.
Well, I was like, I think we need to accept that this is not going to happen. But Robyn was like a dog with a proverbial bone. And so she marched up to this lady whose name I can't remember, but she was so nice.
I know. She's lovely. I should look it up.
You don't need to do it right now.
Okay, good. And it's got an A in it. Either an N or an M. Anyway, so we go up and I was like, okay, I was like, I know this sounds really weird, but do you know this dress? Because I want this dress. And then she looked at us and was like, I know exactly where that dress is. Just go to like Pret next door, grab a coffee. I'll be back in 45 minutes. And we just sat there, and I will post the picture of me so excited. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And then she came back 45 minutes later with the fucking dress.
Yeah, she had it. It was real.
It was an actual dress. Yeah. So
Well, she didn't have the top half, did she? It's actually a two-piece.
Yeah, it is a two-piece. It is a thing. But I did try on other things. Like I tried on a purple Scottish like version of it with tartan. Yeah, which is we will post on Instagram.
We will.
Yeah. It's lovely. And then so tried a couple other ones, but it is two pieces, and they didn't have the top in, but it was also like the last one because they're like redesigning the whole thing, and like it's gonna double in size, and we're like, oh my God.
It definitely felt very meant to be, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And then there's like a hoop in the bottom, and I look glorious.
Yeah, and then my favourite thing, which I think we should post, is that I filmed Robyn. I filmed you so that your sister could see it as well. So
yeah, oh my God.
Which was lovely. And I said, Robyn, walk up the shop and then walk back. And Robyn walked as if she was a builder. Marching across a building site. And I was like, I think you're going to need some work here. Because she's got this glorious frock on with a hoop, looks amazing, and she's like, boom, 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 across this shop.
Nothing so that is not graceful.
That was a beautiful moment. But you, so you were pretty sure that was it.
Yes,
it's obviously
pretty sure.
Got the great story. It's got like but you were like, maybe
I need to like try on other dresses too.
I think there was also. I don't know about you, but I think there was also. I think you felt the same as me, which is that you kind of wanted that wedding dress shop experience.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So I did. I went back to the States shortly after that as well. I went wedding dress shopping with my sister and my mom, and with mixed results, I
Sure.
will say. It was lovely having that. We went to 3 shops, right? When the first one was Vows, and I think Vows in Massachusetts. And actually, they were, as far as a wedding dress experience, I felt great. They had, because I am not a small woman, I am not going to fit into a lot of size. I say a lot of size 6s. I won't fit into any of them.
Any of the size 6s.
I think that size 6 I could get into. Is that because it's
I guess it was very stretchy.
But at this place, she was really good at trying to like pick out different things, and they had every single dress in a big size and a small size. So I was able to try on every dress that I wanted to and actually feel good in them.
Sure, yeah, get a real sense for what it would actually look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was lovely. And I found one. My boobs looked amazing.
That was a really good
It was over $4,000.
They are, I don't know if anybody didn't know this, but they are very expensive wedding dresses.
But because I wanted the experience, we go and she was like, okay, what's your budget? And I was like, I think we're looking in like the $4,000 to $6,000 range. And she was like, okay, we can work with that.
Yeah, I bet she was, yeah. Oh, but they were so disappointed when you didn't purchase one.
Yeah, I haven't told her yet. She probably knows.
She probably knows, yeah.
Yeah, she does. But to be honest, I was considering my favorite one from that one because it did look gorgeous, and it was like basically a print that was. It looked like the print was just over you, and it was so comfortable. I mean, I could have slept in it. It would so comfortable. So that was lovely. We tried on a lot of dresses.
It's a lot. I think it's really. I don't know. I think so. When I went wedding dress shopping, I really wanted that sort of experience of of the dresses and the kind of. It's such a weird thing to do, isn't it? Yeah. Because I think
on your first date with James, and then you went wedding dress shopping. No, is that not how we do it? Sorry, I interrupted.
To be clear, I never thought I was going to marry James because when I first met my husband, he's such a catch. He was just coming out of his first marriage. He's got 2 children, and here's the kicker, still living with his ex-wife. Thank God for my low self-esteem. Frankly, no, I think we were just like, oh, this will be fun until it's not. And then we're just never married now. Basically, because we're still having a laugh, which is lovely. But anyways, but my point is the wedding dress shopping.
Yeah.
I did want that experience. I don't have a mum. I did have one, but she died rudely. So the first dress shop I just went on my own because I was like, well, because it was a Wednesday afternoon, and all my friends have got what I like to call jobs.
Rude.
Yeah, I know. And so I sort of, and there's this sort of, again, it's this kind of cookie cutter experience of what it's very heteronormative. It's very girly, and I there is a girly side of me, and so I kind of was wanting that, but it then just felt really weird for me because the first thing they ask is, "Where's your entourage?" Like your Jennifer Lopez, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't got one." And she looked genuinely crestfallen that it was just me. And I went to this shop, it's a cheaper wedding dress shop. It's called Wed to Be, and I do recommend it if it's if you can find a dress in that shop that you like. But my problem is that so basically Wed to Be is a bit like TK Maxx in that they've got what they've got. Like you can't they've got a rail of dresses that are in your size, and you can't go, I like this one, I'll order it in my size. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So she sort of leads me to the rail of dresses that are in my size, and inexplicably, wedding dresses are 2 sizes up from your normal high street size.
I don't understand.
What an own goal from a wedding dress industry. It's such a weird.
Do it the
thing.
other way.
Yes.
Because I know you'd be like, "Hi, I'm a -2." Totally fine.
Yeah.
But also, why do you want to be like, "Hi, you are a size 36.5." That's not even a size. Why are you doing that?
Such a weird thing. I don't understand why it happens, but it does. So you're already feeling a bit sort of self-conscious anyway. And then you get to, by the way, I had to walk miles down the shop to get to the real dresses in my size. It was like a Duke of Edinburgh expedition. To get it, I could have caught a bus, but eventually we get there, and she's like, "Oh, here you go." And I'm looking at a rail of dresses that I honestly, to me, look exactly the same. They're just white dresses, and I wanted a dress with sleeves. And obviously, I don't know if you found this when you went wedding dress shopping. When you said like a dress with sleeves, please, all the wedding dress shop ladies look at you and sort of go, "No, you think you want a sleeve, but you don't want a sleeve actually." Having a sleeve actually draws attention to your arms and makes people realise that you've got arms. They think that you should have nothing on your arms. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. It was like, no, I just want to wear a dress with a sleeve. It's not. Just give me a sleeve. It's the best they will offer you in a wedding dress shop. And because spoiler, I went to 3 wedding dress shops in the end, and there's like 5 wedding dresses in the world. And like I know they all got a bit different. It's got a bit lace, but essentially template. Yeah. And the only thing they will offer you in terms of a sleeve in a wedding dress shop is a sort of 40 denier pair of tights, isn't it? It's like having a pair of tights on your sleeve, on your arm.
I was like, those are words I don't know. Okay, go.
40 denier pair of tights. You know, tights. Denier, never mind.
Come on, Robyn, even I know this.
I don't know. What is a denier tight?
No, denier is how you measure the thickness of tights.
Oh, I don't wear tights.
which actually, I'm thinking about it now. Nothing else is measured in deniers, is it?
Who came up with that?
I don't know. I'm going to Google it. Anyway, so basically, the best they will offer in terms of sleeve is a pair of tights for your arms, which have got some sort of lace on them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, which, I mean, listen, they just look like, my arms just look like floral sausages in those dresses. It was weird for me. And lots of dresses. And listen, we'll post some pictures of us both in dresses that we didn't wear.
Yeah.
I've got some pictures of me in these dresses. And they do look perfectly reasonable. But I don't look like me. It just doesn't suit me, doesn't suit my personality. And also the other thing I found really disconcerting and uncomfortable was that they use pronouns for these dresses. Don't they did that in the States? Did they do that?
No. They
didn't. Really?
No.
Interesting. So every dress shop I went to, it was she this, she that about the dresses. I was like, oh, okay. We're giving lumps of polyester and satin the dignity that some people won't give some actual women. This is really unsettling. It's just such an uncomfortable thing. And they've all got names. Do the dress have names in the States?
I don't know. I'm sure they did, but they didn't make a big deal out of it.
Okay, yeah. I found that the dresses, like in the smaller sizes, were all called things like Delilah and Jolie, you know, like sort of Tiffany, and the dresses in my range were all called things like Barbara, Gloria, that sort of thing. It's just
I think that's weird to have a dress with a name, though.
It's so weird, but it's like,
feel like, because then I'm also like, I'm marrying a Caitlin. I don't want to be walking down like being surrounded by Wendy.
Oh my God, Wendy.
Wendy. I'm scared to know what a Wendy dress would look like.
A Wendy dress?
I think Wendy has sleeves.
Wendy has puff sleeves, I feel like. Yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. And listen, I did all the stuff of the champagne. And there was one dress in one shop in Crystal Palace near where I live I was like, oh, maybe. It was really, really beautiful. But it was £2,500. And I just like, I mean, listen, I'm all up for spending money. I bloody love spending money. I'm extremely proficient at it. But I just couldn't bring myself to spend that much money on a dress for one day. I just couldn't. And that's obviously cheaper than the ones that you were looking at.
Yeah. I mean, even with the exchange rate.
Sure.
Especially recently.
Yeah, I think, I just couldn't bring myself to it. So that's what led me to Joanna, lovely Joanna, who, bless her, when I first started talking to Joanna, it was pre-pandem. And she lived in Crystal Palace. That's why I was like, I want a local business, blah, blah, blah. During the pandemic, she moved to High Wycombe. So this poor, bless her, because she'd made the commitment that she was going to make my dress, every time she came to my house, she was driving from High Wycombe to come to my house.
It is not short.
Oh,
yeah.
And she was like a magical fairy lady. Like, she would just turn up at my house with something that looked like a cream sack, and she put it on me, and then it felt like she was sort of climbing up and down the Lucy Frederick mountain.
Like the little mice from Cinderella.
Yes. And she would, and then she would, every time she left, it would just look more and more like a wedding dress. She was very, very talented and very skilled. And I think it's because what she was so good at, and I'm sure there are lots of wedding dress maker people who are the same. It's they know that what makes a wedding dress perfect is how you feel about it, you know, and how you feel in it. And I had these fabulous bishop sleeves, and we'll post on our social media pictures of me and my wedding dress. I absolutely love my dress, but I couldn't find a wedding dress that looked like that anywhere. You know, that's but yeah, I loved my dress in the end.
No, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I'm actually going to use her for the alterations of the dress as well.
She's really good.
Is she on Instagram?
She is, yes, and we will tag her, won't we?
Okay, awesome. But no, because I think what you touched upon is like the feeling of like in the story. Because I did go shopping in the States, and we went to 3 shops, and the whole day was lovely, and we had lunch, and it was great. And I love that I had that experience with my mom and my sister. But there were the first wedding dress shop. Great. I loved how she did like everything about it, and I would highly recommend they do have cheaper dresses, but if you have at least $2,000, go to Vow. Because the whole thing, very great, lovely. The second one was we went to Anthropology does a wedding dress. Now, I don't know if there's like a do you guys have?
There's an Anthropology, yeah. It's got an IE on the end of it.
Yeah, and so they have a wedding dress area. As well in the back, and that was significantly cheaper. So we're talking like $1,000 and less, which was great. But they were weirdly the only ones who offered Prosecco.
Oh, that's his.
I know. I was like, this is amazing. So I'm like trying to shoot this. My mom's shooting it. My sister's like, I'm driving. This sucks. But they were so good, and they were like, where are you at? Do you have any in mind?
Was Anthropology size inclusive?
Yes. They were. And it wasn't like at Vows they had everything in like a size 8 and a size 22. Like everything.
Really good, yeah.
So everything was 2 sizes. So they either clipped it or, and Anthropology just had a range. So there were some things that like most things I tried on were like in my size. But also if they didn't have it in my size, it's because they had run out in that size. But they had something close. And I did find some really cool ones. But I told them the story of the Scottish dress. And they just went, have a ball trying stuff on, but that's your dress.
Yeah.
That's your dress. Yeah.
That's it.
But the last one we went to was my least favorite. Like we went in, it was on Newbury Street. Now in Boston, Newbury Street is like the posh. It's like like the Notting Hill of the So we go in, and she was like, tell me where we're at. I don't want to waste any time. And so I told her the story of this guy, right? I was honest about it. And I was like, let's do this. And so I start trying on dresses. Now she has nothing in my size.
Right.
Like 0 in my size. And so they do this thing where when they can't zip up a dress, they put like a sheet of white fabric behind you as if to be like, oh.
Pretend.
Yeah, but this thing was like what I realized, I think, as I was picking out dresses, is the dresses that I liked the most were the ones that were just the most different from everything else in the shop. Like, I don't want a thing that's like wedding dresses are designed to look nice on people when they're in your size, but I don't want like I want something different. That's who I am. Like, I want something that is me and my story that I feel cool and special in, right? So I find this one that is like the most different, and she only has it in it must have been 6, 8 sizes too small. So we're sitting there, and she's trying to like shove me into it. I was like, this is not going to happen. And it had sleeves. It had denier sleeves, whatever that is. And do you know what I mean? So I have, and again, we
had the tights for sleeves.
I had the tights for sleeves, right? And I will post this on Instagram, but there's a picture of me. I can't lift my arms because it's too tight. She can't, like, nothing is even, because, like, it is a whole open back because I can't even, and I'm like, and she's like, this is gorgeous. This is amazing. This is the one. This is I am so sure you're going to call me tomorrow morning because this is the dress. And I was like, and it was a lovely dress, but at the same time, I don't even know what I would look like in it because it was so tall.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and then she goes, if you asked your friends, would they recommend that you buy a dress that has a good story or a dress that you look amazing in? I think they tell you to go for a dress that you look amazing in. And I was like, well, first of all, I don't look shit in the other one. All right. It's not like I found a bin bag and was like, well, there's a story. I'm going to wear that. But also I don't even know what I do look like in here. And then as she's trying to yank me into this dress, she genuinely looks at me and goes, look, now this dress has a story too.
I mean, it's so...
Not a story. Not a story. Yeah.
It's such an extraordinary thing that like, around weddings that... And, I wrote, as you know, wrote a show about this that I did at the Fringe last year. And about how, thin is the best thing you can be when you go wedding dress shopping. Because I think I've told you this, but another shop that I went to, a lady was trying to shovel me into a dress that was too small for me, but she was like, "Oh, you'll be so pleased to hear this is a size 14 and you're fitting into it." And I was like, "Sure. I mean, if by fitting into it you mean in the same way that a sleeping bag fits into that little bag it comes with." Yeah. And you look really. I looked very pleasant from the front, but from the back I looked like 6 people trying to get out of a plastic bag. And again, I've got I don't even know if I've still got this photo, but proper rolls of squidgy fat at the back. I was like, this is your wedding photos are going to be taken from all angles. You're not just from the front, straight on. Unless you're going to say to your photographer, only take photos from this angle, but from the back, your whole bottom is hanging out because it's too small. What a weird thing. It's so weird.
And it's also why can't I just find a dress that looks good as I am? Why do you assume that I'm going to want to starve myself for 11 months it's not who I am.
No.
I am this.
Yeah, this is what I look like.
For this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, again, what was so delightful about that dress in Scotland was that it looked gorgeous on you right now. It really did. And it really does look, you're going to look amazing. Because it just looked fab. It literally, it's so interesting, isn't it? Because in theory, you could have seen that dress for all these years and then put it on and it just did not suit your shape. It could have. Yeah. Just because I want to be very careful not to use the word flattering, because I think the word flattering in terms of women and dresses and stuff like that just means thin. Flattering can mean how thin does it make you look. But I mean in terms of what shape your body is, or your personality, all of those sort of things. You could have put it on and it just looked odd. I think, not because of your size, because of your shape, whatever, but it literally looked like it had been made for you. It really, in terms of the shape and the design of it, it was so you, on top of having this brilliant story.
And then when I did show Caitlin the photos, she was like, "You just look so happy in it."
Oh,
and I think she was like, "You want something that's going to make you feel happy."
Absolutely.
And it's about that feeling. The first shop we went to in Boston, it was a great experience. I had a great experience. The last shop I went to in Boston, I felt like a fat sausage.
Yes.
It was not.
No, what's the point? You come away feeling not good about yourself. This is the day where you're going to have probably the most people looking at you ever, and you're going to, these, as we talked about in the last episode, these are photos you will never look at more. You'll never look at photos more. Good Lord, you need to feel good about yourself. That's the prerequisite number one, is that you need to feel the best you can possibly feel in this outfit. And like I say, going back to Joanna, and I'm really glad that you're going to go to Joanna for the alterations, because that's something I think she's so good at. She's so brilliantly, kind of kind and supportive and friendly. She's funny. She really makes you feel great. Yeah.
So, and when you had that conversation about the dress as well, what's the ending story of your dress? Because you did contact her when...
Oh, sure, yeah. So because I listen, it wasn't her fault that I didn't like the dress. I didn't like the dress because I'd had months of... I'm a size 18 to 20, UK 18 to 20, so I'm not a small person. But I have worked very hard to love the skin that I'm in, to love my body. I've been through a whole journey on it. What I found was that months and months of wedding dress shopping, constantly being bombarded with weight loss. As soon as you Google weddings, you are bombarded with weight loss adverts. That's what I've discovered. Your social media suddenly flooded with, Noom, Weight Watchers, whatever it is, all of these, Slimming World, because it's just this assumption that you'll want to lose weight. And I realised what it wasn't the dress that I didn't like, it was just the fat bird sitting in it. That, unfortunately, that I suddenly, my sort of resilience against all these things coming at you as a bigger person, bigger woman specifically, I think, in our society, had sort of ground me down. So I just had to do a bit of work on that. But the other thing I did was I did go back to her and I said, I'm really sorry. I know I said I was happy with it, but there's something about it that I'm not happy. And she said, it's fine. If you can come to mine, then we can work on it. And we did that, and she basically just cut the neckline down 2 inches. So my tits looked amazing.
And you were like, done.
Boom, job done, mate.
Yeah. Because you did look amazing, and we will post photos, but you did. It was beautiful. It was, yeah. But I think that's also important, because I think, like you said, she would have been really sad if you were like, I don't really like it, but never said anything.
Absolutely.
But it's really hard to say something when somebody works so hard on something. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and also being the personalities that we are. I think this is, another really interesting
people
thing about...
pleaser personality.
Absolutely, that's right. When you're planning a wedding is that suddenly it really is all about what you want, and that is not a natural position for you or me. And for lots of women, I think. Yeah. We're lots of... not just women, but lots of people suddenly find themselves planning a wedding, and it really is, that's where, because also there's all these kind of bitchy archetypes like bridezilla and stuff like that, that are out there, and you go, and that's like the worst thing you could possibly be. Imagine being a woman that just states what you want and won't take anything less. That's what a bridezilla is. That's essentially what a bridezilla is.
Yeah.
It's just someone saying, this is what I want, and I'm not going to compromise on this today, on this particular thing. And I'm really interested in that. And I was like, that's the worst thing I want. I was like, oh God, I'm not that. So I tried to be laid back about everything. And I think, I can't remember if I said this in a previous episode, but my 2 adult bridesmaids, we'll talk about hen dos at some point, but they said, you've been a real pain. You've been a real nightmare in the planning of this hen do. And I was like, what? I've tried to be super laid back and say do whatever, I don't mind what I have. And they were like, yeah, exactly. So we've had to try and guess what it is you actually want. Whereas if you'd just been direct and said, this is what I want, I don't want to compromise, they would have gone, okay, and they would have had to try and achieve that. And actually, you think you're being helpful by being easygoing, but people who know you know that there is something that's specific that you want.
I want to go gambling. I want to play craps.
I know you do, yeah.
I do.
We will talk about hen dos, but I have to tell you, do you know about my bad luck thing? I can't go to a casino because I'm bad luck. My husband, when I first met my husband, he really liked a night out at a casino. He loves a night out at the casino, and he used to say things like, "I'm really good at it. I've got a system." I was like, "I don't think that's how it works." He was like, "No, honestly, watch." Yeah, well, he said, "Honestly, watch this," and. We went to a casino, and he was bloody Flash Harry. He took £100 of cash out, and I stood next to him. What's that one? The roulette wheel.
Yeah.
And he lost that £100 with less than 5 minutes, and he couldn't believe it. And then another time, he went to a casino, and I was with someone else, and I joined him, and he'd been winning. And as soon as I got there, he lost it all.
Well, this is really sad because I really wanted you at my hen do.
Well, I'll just have to stand away from you. Stand next to someone else.
Like, no, the hen do definitely starts at 8, Lucy. Well, everybody, where are you guys meeting before? Definitely just 8 o'clock. We're going to meet right outside the casino. 8 o'clock. Not a second earlier, Lucy.
Right, the last thing I want to talk about before we finish, before we even finish the dress episode, I'm sure we'll come back and we'll touch on dresses again before the actual wedding. I'm sure there will be a moment of that. But to veil or not to veil?
Okay. So, I don't think I'm veiling.
No, I know.
I know. And you're very... I can't tell if you're more disappointed that I'm not wearing a veil or that Caitlin's seen a photo of me in the dress.
No, I'm not disappointed in either of those things because it's your wedding, Robyn.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
It's not mine. I've had mine. I've done. My day is done.
It's your day. It's your day. It's all about
your
day.
We should have called this podcast. It's your day.
Your day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We really should have. All right, let's start over.
Is it too late to stop it? So you're not going to wear a veil.
So here's the thing. I had no opinions either way. And when I went to the first vow place in Boston, I was like, okay, we'll try on a veil. We'll see what it looks like. And then I put it on and I was like, I don't think I'm a veil person. I just don't look good in a veil. Yeah,
I think everyone. I wanted to wear. I knew I wanted to wear a veil. I wore a veil, and it was the right thing to do. I loved
good
my
in a veil.
I loved it. I wish that veils were part of normal fashion.
Are you gonna wear a veil to my wedding?
No, because I'm not a cunt. But I do wish they were part of normal fashion because they're so fun. They're so fun. But you might wear some sort of glorious headpiece.
Yes, I know. Okay. So again, all right. So it can't be too metally because Caitlin can't handle like the smell of metal. Like, but it might be flowers or. So one of my different best friend from home had an amazing headpiece made out of like peacock feathers.
Amazing.
It was it was so beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously can't copy her. That would be weird if she showed up to my wedding and she was like, "Oh, that looks familiar." But I do want like
I think she'd
something.
just be super flattered.
But do you think I would actually might ask Joanna what she thinks?
100%, yeah.
Because
Joanna made my veil.
Yeah.
Joanna
Did she? Because I could do some sort of like because the dress is made. The bottom of it is made up of like a bunch of different types of fabrics and layers and stuff like that. So you can actually do something that kind of.
I think the difficulty will be finding the same fabric.
Yeah.
You know, being able to buy the same fabric to match. I don't know. But yeah, I'd definitely ask her about it. I feel like some sort of headpiece is very you.
Yeah, I do love a headpiece. I really do.
What are you going to wear on your feet, Robyn?
Okay, and this might be the gayest thing we are doing, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get matching Doc Martens.
That's so cute. Connor was just sick in his own mouth.
Oh my God, he really was. No, he did. He just threw up. I saw that, Connor. He just actually threw up. Okay, fine. Fine, Connor.
What's wrong with DMs, Connor?
I think it's the matching. I think
I was just really wondering what you meant by saying, like, what's the most kind of gay thing that we can do?
Yeah.
And then when you said Doc Martens, I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, that is
matching,
it.
Matching Doc Martens is, yep. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. But I think they're going to be like a cherry red. That will go, I think, well with because the dress is kind of off-white, would you say? Beige. It's not like a white.
Beige. You cannot describe your... Even... Listen. What colour is it? Right. There are some ridiculous words.
Right.
As you'd said last week when you went... last month, sorry. When
like
you went...
Dernier?
Well, Denier. I'd stop hyper-focusing on the word Denier. When you went to the wedding fair and you were looking for fancy pants words for white, there are some absolutely bonkers words for white.
Yeah.
But I don't think your dress is not white. I tell you what else it isn't: beige. You can't describe
You're right.
it.
It's kind of like how
champagne. Let's call it that.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I get champagne. Yeah.
That's very nice.
So that's good.
There we go. Well, listen, I think there concludes the wedding dress episode, Robyn. Very excited to see how it pans out.
I pick it up at the end of November.
Yeah.
So, which is very exciting.
Yes. I know. I'm very excited to see it and to see how it works out. I think anything more to add?
I think that's it. I mean, we haven't really talked about Caitlin's outfit, but...
Oh, no, what's Caitlin going to wear?
Not a dress. She is not a dress kind of girl.
She's going to wear some sort of suit.
Yes, she's going to wear a very cool suit. But yeah, she is like a vest kind of girl. Like yeah, so I think she'll probably wear that. But I think she's going to be...
She's going to look
hot. Yeah, she is. Because she's hot. Yeah. That's why I'm marrying her. Also her personality, but mainly because she's hot. I'm just kidding, babe. I love you for everything that you are.
It's fun because it's fun because it's good. It's a good way to tell whether your partner is listening to the podcast all the way to the end.
Oh yeah.
See whether she listens to that bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, she will.
Cool. Well, listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I think we've mentioned that quite a lot this episode.
At Robyn and Lucy. It's Robyn with a Y. We're also on TikTok, which is very exciting.
Yes. We've done a great deal of TikToking. We're planning.
Yeah.
We're going on a later this month.
Yes.
Robyn's friend won a prize, which she didn't want.
Yeah.
So Robyn and I are going to on a right. It's going to sound worse than it is. We're going on a glamour photo shoot, but we're not like. Don't worry, none of us. We're not getting. I don't feel like we're getting our chicken sandwich meals out, are we?
What? I don't know.
Not getting our fannies out. It's not that kind of glamour shoot.
Oh my God,
shoot, is
it? Those exist?
Yeah, I think so. Like boudoir.
Oh no, it's not naked photos. That would be odd.
It would, yeah.
It would be. That's a weird friend thing to do.
I'm quite glad I clarified though, because I was a little bit concerned.
No. It's like headshots of like hair and makeup and stuff like that.
So basically, we get our hair and makeup done, and then we take a photo. We get photos, and we're doing that together. And we'll probably post about that on TikTok and or Instagram. So that'll be a laugh. But apart from that, join us next time. Where we'll be talking about. We'll be on 9 months to go. Do you know what I was thinking? It's because I said 9 months. I was thinking 9 months. This is the point at which anybody who you don't know is pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Could in the next month, if they announce they're pregnant, could end up needing to bring their child to your wedding.
That's true.
And after that, after next month, then they'll just be pregnant.
All
people.
babies.
They'll just be pregnant people.
Yeah, and they're allowed.
Okay. So fingers crossed no one gets pregnant in the next month. Not no one in the world.
We should cut that. That sounds weird.
Oh.
All right. Join us next time as we are going to be talking about accommodation and
other things.
Other things. We forget. We didn't write it down. It's going to be lovely. Bullet points being follow us on Instagram at Robyn and Lucy.
Follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, at Robyn and Lucy. Follow us.
And we'll see. Right, go. Okay.
And we'll
on the count of 3, say goodbye. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Goodbye. Wait, no, thank you for... No, we'd have to do that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of Robyn and Lucy. We're going to have to edit the shit out of this, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of Robyn and Lucy Tackle a Wedding. Join us next time when we're talking about accommodation.
Awesome.
Bye.